Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's review we're going to be taking a look at the newly released DNA Design DK16 Gear Master Accessory Series Studio Series Upgrade Pack. Now if you are in the market for picking this setup, it is available and in stock right now over at Showz Store. So for that of course I will leave a link down in the description box below. Now this is a little unusual for DNA Design's usual products, as this is actually an upgrade pack / accessory set for multiple figures. Usually they only do one character per set, but in this particular pack we do get upgrade pieces for Studio Series Bumblebee, Studio Series Sentinel Prime, and of course Studio Series Blackout. I personally was really excited for this set, mainly for the additional components for the Studio Series Blackout. However, nonetheless, let's get straight on to the implementation of some of these sets by kicking things off with Bumblebee. And so, bringing in our Studio Series 49 Bumblebee, you can see here that I have the figure completely untouched without any of the new additional components. And now personally for me, out of all of the additional components that we do get within this set, I really do believe that the Bumblebee components are some of the more pointless that DNA Design have indeed released. Personally, I would have loved it if they could have packaged in some additional components for our Studio Series Shockwave rather than this Bumblebee, as personally these are accessories and enhancements that I don't believe any of us really asked for. But nonetheless, bringing in this section here just to show you how to implement it in, you're going to want to take this piece here. You can see here that we do have an entire hollow space here. Now basically what this section here does is come right over the top of this, and you can see that we do have a tab there that will actually slide into this slot. It can be rather finicky to do, especially the first time round, but just align this up appropriately, shoot that in there until it does indeed click into place, and you can see how that will indeed fill out that entire section. And to be honest with you, it does actually have some really nice sculpted in detailing as well as paint applications. However, personally for me, I just really do not believe that these are pieces that were necessarily asked for by fans in order to enhance Bumblebee. Just to show you the differences between the different legs, you can see here that this one is completely untouched, whereas this one does add an extra level of detailing. And just bringing in this section, this personally is one of my favorite pieces to come out of this pack. You can see that we have this huge tab here that will peg into this slot here. I really do love it how they make these particular upgrade pieces almost seamless to the Studio Series figures, as if though they were always designed to actually have these tabs on there. But you just want to give that here a nice squeeze, and you can see how it definitely does create for a much more movie accurate look. It really does beef up the overall look of Bumblebee's leg, and of course harkens back to his appearance in the movie. However, personally for me, as stated before, I just really do believe that these are rather pointless upgrades. Of course, repeat the exact same process here with this side, so just take this section here, align this up appropriately and snap that in there nice and securely. We can then of course bring in this one and also align this one up and apply a reasonable amount of pressure and just clip that one in there also. Once again, it can be rather difficult to actually snap these in there, but that will clip in there nice and securely. And then turning to probably one of the better accessories for the figure, we do indeed get Bumblebee's missile pods. Now this is something that I actually was looking forward to getting in this set, as none of the recent Bumblebees, even the Masterpiece version, didn't include this. So to see it here with the Studio Series version for sure more than makes me happy. You're going to want to get this tab here and essentially tuck it under this section, and then this here will slide and snap nice and securely into place. And there we have the Studio Series 49 Bumblebee fully equipped with our DK16 upgrade pieces. And just to bring him in here for a closer look, you can see we do have the missile pods there, which I personally do believe have some really nice looking details. And then just taking a look here at some of the enhancements to the legs, there is no denying that these upgrade pieces do make him look slightly more movie accurate. However, as stated throughout the majority of this segment, I personally just do not believe that these are necessarily components that any of us really asked for. So nonetheless, let's move on to Sentinel Prime. And so now turning here to Sentinel Prime, really and truly this pack is more of an accessory kit for Sentinel Prime rather than what we are used to with DNA Design, that being upgrade pieces. So just to show you, we do of course get a much more movie accurate looking blade. In my opinion, this looks really awesome, and I absolutely love the paintwork as well as the overall sculpt work. And for a comparison, here we have the original version which came with the Studio Series release, and you can see that the new DNA Design version is just leaps and bounds better than this predecessor. In order to peg it into Sentinel's hand, you simply just attach it like so, and then I believe it is supposed to slide in this way, and then just snap that section into place, and you can see that is Sentinel with the blade, and I think that he looks really awesome with this, and it is indeed very proportionate to what we see in the movie. We of course do get his rust cannon, which was an accessory that I know many of us were really asking for when Sentinel Prime was officially revealed by Hasbro, and I myself was rather let down when it was shown that the figure would not include this. But you can see DNA Design certainly do have us covered, and this is very accurate to the blaster that we see in the movie, and in my opinion it's got some really nice looking sculpting and detailings as well as paint applications. And and of course it can be held into Sentinel's hand via the 5mm peg and port, and once again, very similarly to the other accessories, it does hold in there really nicely, and in my opinion is very proportionately accurate. But another accessory that I know many of us, probably more so than the blaster, were looking forward to was that of a proper movie accurate looking shield, and you can see that this one here looks absolutely fantastic and is for sure very accurate to the movie. I think that the overall sculpt work on this particular piece looks excellent, and as we turn it around here to the back, you can see various different tabs and slots because they have actually designed this to hold the extra pieces from the excess blade. So just to demonstrate how this is supposed to work, you can see that you're supposed to essentially tuck these tabs in here, snap that section into place, and you can see how that will tab in there along the sides, and of course repeat the same process. So just take this and snap that nice and securely there into place, and you can see that is how the excess blades from Sentinel Prime do store within the shield. And personally, I don't think that it looks too bad whatsoever. Just giving you a very quick look at how he looks with both the shield and the sword. Personally, for me, I think that this figure is now 100% perfect and really does look awesome with some of our new accessory packs from DNA Design. Truly a set worth picking up if you want to upgrade and enhance the overall look here for Sentinel Prime. But moving on to what is for sure the main event of the set, here we have the Studio Series Blackout, and of course we are actually going to add not only upgrade components to this figure but also additional accessories in order to better match his appearance from the movie. Now personally, I do believe that this set has been a long time coming. I would have loved this if we could have gotten this a year ago. It's great that DNA Design are indeed branching out to the Studio Series figures. So just to show you, the biggest change that you're going to want to do is in regards to the hand. So I recommend opening this section here, just taking the hand and folding this back. The hands were a huge area of criticism that many collectors had with this particular figure, as they were unable to rotate left and right and really were rather limited in terms of their range of motion. So with this set, you're going to want to fold that there to the back, bring out one of our DNA Design hands. You can see that these ones here are indeed fully articulated with all of the fingers on individual hinges with an actual swivel joint as well. You're going to want to take this here and tap that section in there, and you can see that this piece will actually hook over the top of that and will snap nicely into place. You can see how it will click in there, and then you can just bring this in here and align that back up. And for a comparison, we can compare the before and after. Here we have our new DNA Design hand compared next to the mandatory standard Hasbro hand, and once again, in my opinion, I just think that this one here looks so much nicer. You can see it's on a full swivel rotation and all of the fingers are indeed individually articulated. So just to show you that one more time on the opposite side, just fold this section up. We can then of course bring in this section and just slide this piece here over the top, snap that in there nice and securely. Come here to the underside and just ensure that all of the tabs are aligned up appropriately. You can see there that in my opinion that looks so much better than compared to what we got on just our standard Hasbro version. But it doesn't end there. They've also packed in the blade that we see him use towards the final battle of Mission City, and you can see that the detailing does indeed match the actual rotor blade there for Studio Series Blackout. So that in my opinion is a great attention to detail, and this can of course spin really well as well. You can see that is indeed spinning for quite a considerable amount of time. This basically does just peg over the top of the hand that we have pegged in there, so I recommend rotating this around and collapsing the fingers, and then this clip section here will clip over where these knuckles are, so just snap that in there, and there is Blackout fully decked out with his awesome looking propeller blade weapon. I'm really glad that we did have this included with this set, as this was actually an accessory which was showcased on the CGI artwork of Studio Series Blackout, so it was really unfortunate that Hasbro didn't include it with this pack already. But we can also bring in some additional accessories such as the machine guns that we do see him use towards the beginning of the movie when we are first introduced to him, and these here do just tab in along the side, so we really are armoring Blackout up here to the teeth. And then the final accessory is this one. Now I believe this is an EMP blaster that he was about to vaporize Sergeant Epps with in the first movie. However, I do believe that it is damaged by one of the other army soldiers, and this section here simply just clip over this cylindrical piece, so just snap that in there. And there we have our Studio Series Blackout fully weaponized up and ready to take down both the Autobots and of course Sector 7. And so some final thoughts here for the DNA Design DK16 upgrade set. Personally for me, I think that this is potentially one of the better sets that DNA Design have released as of late. I really do think that the accessories as well as the upgrade pieces that we do get for both Sentinel Prime and Blackout are essential pieces, and now that we do indeed have them, it has potentially made these two figures the best representations that we have ever gotten. Bumblebee, whilst the accessory pieces pieces are nice. I personally don't believe that they were essential. I would have much rather had them included some other accessories for other Studio Series figures, maybe some extra guns for our wreckers. I really don't believe that the inner sections here for Bumblebee's legs were pieces that fans were necessarily crying out for. The missile pods are still a nice inclusion. However, once again, are weapons that I personally, and I know that many other collectors didn't necessarily want, but you can see the propeller, as well as the new hands, the EMP blaster, the shield, the sword, and of course the rust gun for Sentinel Prime are all accessories that we have been after ever since these figures were announced. So with all that being said, if you are in the market for picking this set up, it is available and in stock right now over at Shozy Store, and for that, of course, I will leave a link down in the description box below. I personally do believe, once again, that it is one of the better sets, despite some of the criticisms that I do have in regards to Bumblebee. So that just about wraps up my review. I really do hope that you enjoyed this review. If you did, please do let me know down in the comment section below, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.